Hey, now let's do a rollback. Back when I was in photography school, working for Beach Photo, I was purchasing 4x5 Fujifilm for my Calumet 4x5 large format camera. Lots of Fujifilm for my 35mm, also 100-foot bulk rolls. Fujifilm, tons of film. Now, 2017, Nikon isn't making a medium format. Obviously, Sony isn't making the sensor. Excuse me, Fuji isn't making the sensor either. I mean, it's a Sony sensor. You know, I don't give a damn, that Sony makes the sensors in most of the cameras today. I mean, back in the day, you fed your Nikon, Kodak, and Fujifilm, right? I cannot remember a single instance back in the day where people were like, "Oh, I love my Nikon." It's like, yeah, but you got Fujifilm in that Nikon F4S of yours. You keep hearing a lot of stuff today about people talking about, well, your Fujifilm camera's got a Sony sensor in it. Camera is not a sensor, it's an image processor. Back in the days of film, the film was it. All the processing, of course, was done by you. And the cancer-causing chemicals that I was up to my armpits in. What a difference from the year 1992 to 2017. All the cameras, Nikon, Canon, right? Hasselblad, of course, back then, Pentax, my Pentax 6.7s, I had a pair of them, medium format. No, I'm not having a flashback, by the way. You're feeding our cameras Kodak and Fujifilm. Now Kodak is basically out of business. Even though they basically came up with a digital camera, and they're like, ooh, we better not screw with this because this will screw our film business. It's like, well, you should have actually not shelved it. By shelving it, Kodak destroyed themselves. Fujifilm, being the wise apples that they were, could, see the future. So, but now, in the age of digital, Fujifilm does still make some film, but now in the age of digital, my top 4 cameras, 3 of them are Fuji. And Fuji's making the medium format camera. So how did I go from feeding my Nikon's Fujifilm to, now Fujifilm is making the hardware. We can call the sensor the software, really, right? Although a sensor is really hardware, but we can call it the software. What a difference. What a difference. I don't care if Sony's making... Sony's poured billions of dollars into their CMOS designs, and I know it costs them a fortune, all those endless clean rooms and research and development. That's fine. Wow, if I had told myself and went back in time to 1992 and said, in the year 2017, the hardware is going to be Fujifilm, and Nikon's going to be lagging behind. Wow. Really? Most of you haven't been shooting that long. Some of you obviously have been. But talk about real role reversal. I'm feeding my Nikon Fujifilm, Velvia, whatnot, 120, Velvia, endless, feeding my Calumet 4x5 Fujifilm. Now the hardware is Fujifilm. Not only that, it's actually the best hardware. The Fujifilm X-T2 and the new GFX are built like tanks and they're made in Japan. That's what Nikon used to do. Not only has Fujifilm done total role reversal with Nikon, but Nikon's been around, and of course I know Fujifilm's been making film cameras too. I'm no idiot. I didn't use Fujifilm back in the day. They're hardware. They're film cameras, but... And of course Fuji used to make large format glass. I know all of that too. I know Fujifilm's been making camera hardware for quite some time, but there's been total role reversal. Not nearly total, but almost damn total role reversal. Has anybody ever thought about that fact before? It's kind of astonishing. It's kind of like if you went back in time to 1992 and you went to a gas station. Let's say it was Exxon or something. I don't know whatever gas station. Like those are just the gas people. And then you fast forward to 2017. It's like, well, Exxon still makes gas, but now they're making the best cars. Now they're Exxon cars. That no one would ever be able to predict that. I mean, obviously Fujifilm's been making hardware back in the day. I find that kind of astonishing when you actually look at it in a roundabout fashion. Been extremely impressed with the GFX. Actually more impressed than I even thought I would be. And I can say succinctly that the GFX is now the best medium format camera. I can state that actually objectively, not just, well, no, that's just your opinion. It's totally subjective. It's really not. I've used the Mamiya Leaf, the Pentax 645. It's really not. I mean, even if you forget the fact that the Fujifilm is the best value of the two, it's made better, better design, easier to use, more robust. It's like, what the hell doesn't it have over Pentax and the Hasselblad and the Mamiya? It has everything over them. Some people can complain about the sync speed. Fujifilm's going to come out with leaf lenses. The sync speed's not an issue when you're in studio work because it's all T1 time anyway. People don't realize that because they don't know how studio strobes and speedlights really work. But anyway, no one's really talked about that before, and it's actually kind of astonishing if you actually think about it. Especially if you're up to your armpits in developer chemicals, and you know, Fujifilm was Fujifilm, even though they made hardware back then. Now Fujifilm has a new ideation. We're talking about a hardcore hardware and lenses. That's kind of astonishing. And the length of time that Nikon's been around, of course Fujifilm's been around a really long time now too, but that is an incredible role reversal. I mean, Fujifilm has gone. I know the camera sales are a small percentage, relatively speaking, for Fujifilm. I know Fujifilm's making cosmetics based upon collagen, which collagen's used in film. Fujifilm got the idea, collagen, let's go into cosmetics. Making medical equipment. There's a lot more money in medical equipment stuff than there is in the consumer cameras, even if it's professional mirrorless cameras. Anyway, I wanted to make a video about that. You could hate me for making this video, but oh well. Thanks for watching. Bye. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum.